Men are becoming cheap. I told you guys this, I've said it plenty of times, that the average man could live happily in a shoebox at the side of the road. And this is the pattern that we are increasingly on. I often get into fights with you guys in the comments because there are many of you who basically argue about buying fast food anytime, argue about shopping at even Walmart. I mean, you guys are cheap and frugal as hell. A lot of you, will sleep on a mattress, love to sleep on mattresses on the floor. Some of you don't even own a mattress, or you have a Japanese style mattress, which really is just a mat. I mean, some of y'all are living some real, I don't know. I don't know. And you refuse to spend money, and you have the money because I get emails from you. I get emails from you guys. You guys will send me emails, tell me exactly how much money you make, how much money you have in the bank. Okay? There are millionaires on this channel. There are millionaires on this channel. And then boast about how little money you spend. Okay? And you will not spend. Guys, this is insanity. This is insanity. Some of y'all are really going back. You would rather die rich. You'd rather die rich than enjoy yourself and die poor. Which honestly I could go with, but nah, some of y'all are on some crazy. Some of y'all are on some next stuff. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. By the way, if you guys enjoy these videos, make sure to hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe down below. And of course, new members for the channel do get new videos early. If you'd like to learn more about that, click the join button down below this video. So it's insane what I'm seeing here. And a video just came to my attention from La Juan FTB. Okay, so this individual put out a video called Why I'm So Frugal. And this kind of reflects what a lot of you guys are doing right now. And you're essentially starving the economy, but some of you are just taking it to the next level like this guy. I'm not saying you don't eat well. I'm not saying you don't live well, but my gosh, you guys are getting bad. You guys are getting bad. It really, really, no, this is really some living happily in a shoebox at the side of the road crap. I've had some of you reach out and tell me exactly how you live, and that you have a backpack and you own this many shirts and this many shorts and this many pairs of pants, and you could be gone in 30 minutes flat, and you've done it many times. You're also, I don't want to use the word. I don't know what word to describe y'all. I don't know what word to describe y'all. Let's jump into the video, and I'm going to link La Juan's channel in the description so you can go and check him out.
An extremely frugal life. I consume tap water rather than juice for 95% of my meals. I track every dollar, I keep every receipt, and even my umbrella is flavorless. I've gone literal years without purchasing anything that wasn't meant to be instantly consumed. And from the outside looking in, it's easy to view my attitude toward money as simply being a money hoarding cheap ass. But I think there's two really important behaviors that separate frugality and being a cheap ass. And it really shows as we mature with money. And I'll get back to those two in just a second. But first, I want to tell you all a little bit about why I'm frugal to begin with. Being frugal and saving a lot gives me the ability to live a financially unburdened life. I can move whenever I want for the most part because I don't have a bunch of overhead expenses and loans. I can quit my job at any point in time that I feel unfulfilled because I've prioritized saving rather than accumulating. And I can feel financially stable and secure very easily because I live below my means as much as I can. My journey into frugality began because I had a really bad relationship with money that I was unaware of. I had the type of relationship to money that some people have to food, where once I had some of it, I had to consume it. And this usually occurred at the very first opportunity for me to do so. When payday came around, the first thing I would do is go out and buy something to eat when I really didn't need to. And a lot of people still have that relationship with money to today. Experiencing the peace that living a financially unburdened life has allowed me to has shifted my relationship with money now to one where simply money is a tool for me to facilitate feelings of peace, security, and abundance. I save in very selective ways, some of which I think you'll find a bit strange. But this is where I'll draw the first of two key distinctions between frugality and cheapness, or at least how I convince myself that I'm not being a cheap ass. I try to use money to nurture my quality of life as much as possible. And to me, the quality of your life is determined by how you live on a daily basis. So I try my best to spend as much as I can within my budget on things that affect my life on a day-to-day basis consistently, or things that will have long-term, long-lasting effects. Like healthy foods, my apartment's interior since I have to live there every day, my friendships, and this isn't something I think cheap people are actually doing. I think they're just looking for the best possible deal every time. When I'm grocery shopping, I'll always make compromises so I can buy the highest quality food I can and cut back with less impactful things. I eat fresh vegetables as often as possible, but that comes at the expense of the types of drinks that I'll buy. I'll usually drink lemon tea because it's $1 cheaper than juice, and get the generic hand soap so I can spend more on the highest quality toothpaste since I want to keep my teeth for as long as possible. Now, this might not seem like much, but it allows me to stay financially flexible as the price of things keep going up. Because there is a trap that a lot of us find ourselves in when it comes to shopping and purchasing items. There are companies that are spending millions of dollars on marketing to put products in front of us. So we feel a sense of familiarity to these products, then we purchase these products at a higher cost, which then allows these companies to continue to spend millions of dollars in marketing to put these products in front of us to build familiarity, and you see how the cycle goes. And a lot of people end up finding themselves purchasing items at a higher cost that actually give no functional increase in value. And I find that having the financial flexibility of choosing what it is I'm going to spend a bit more money on rather than what I'm comfortable with is actually the best way for me to maintain my mindset of value first. Value first meaning value to me and the quality of my life first.
Now, guys, you can see he's not playing around. This man is not playing around. Okay? You don't see a woman there either. You see a plant. You see a plant. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. I don't know if this man probably doesn't have children either. Guys, this is not a game. This is not a game. These men are really in their era right now. A woman says she wants to go on a date. The man says, okay, so where are you taking me? And I eat high quality food too. So better not be any of that cheap stuff. Okay? Steak only. Steak only. My goodness gracious. I have to tell you, I'm blown away by this. I'm blown away. And this is like a reflection of how a lot of you guys live. Like a lot of you are not messing around. And this man is not messing around.
I also try to walk as much as possible to locations rather than take public transportation, since I no longer have a car. Once I have the time, I'll walk as long as an hour, and during that time, I can listen to a podcast, audiobook, or call a friend to get more out of that time if I want to. This is a bit of a weird one, or at least I think it is. I keep all of my receipts to manually enter into my budget so I can make notes about when and where I spend the most amount of money, so that I'll be able to avoid that location or at least spend less time there or go at different times of the day so that I won't spend as much money. The convenience store Family Mart is near to my house, and I usually stop and get a snack after work. And it's most pronounced between 5 and 11 p.m. So I made a rule for myself that any time between 5 and 11 p.m. that I have to get something at the convenience store, I'm gonna make the 15-minute walk to the 7-Eleven that's so far away that it's a reminder in itself for me whenever I start the walk that I really am not trying to spend money on snacks and things that I don't need or want. And this has really served me well. I also try to...
This man is punishing himself. This man is punishing himself. All right? If he wants a sweet bun, if he wants something sweet, he's going to have to walk there and walk far. That's going to be at least a good 30 minutes back and forth. This guy's this Jesus, 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 Jesus. My goodness gracious. This is discipline, y'all. This is real discipline. Real discipline. My goodness. And you can see how slim he is too. He does not have a car because he's not going to invest in one. He'll walk wherever he has to go. If he wants to buy his meals, he has to walk to the store to go buy his meals and then walk his butt back home. You think this cheap man is gonna pay for Uber? You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. My gosh.
At night rather than my ceiling light because it uses less wattage combined than the overhead ceiling light, and it also creates a mood where I can get prepared for bedtime. What I spend wildly on. This is where I see the biggest difference between frugality and cheapness, because I spend a lot of money on things that frugal people would consider frivolous for the most part, and cheap people would scream if they were to hear that I did these things. For example, I hate traveling. I hate being at the back of an aircraft. So anytime I need to take a flight somewhere, I'll always pay to get the seat as close as possible to the front of the aircraft, even on low budget flights. To me, the frustration of traveling, being stuck in a middle row, unable to stretch my legs even a little, or being stuck next to the toilet at the back and having to wait to be the last to the plane and ending up waiting an extra 30 minutes to an hour to get through immigration because other flights came together and now all of those people just got off together and they all got off ahead of me, just isn't worth the squeeze of saving $30 to $50 for me. I'd rather pay and make the overall travel experience a lot better for myself. I also spend a lot on convenience. For example, I hate sitting on buses or trains for more than 2 hours. And here in Japan, there is this thing called the Shinkansen, or the bullet train. And anytime I have to take a trip that goes beyond that 2 hour mark, I make sure to find myself on that bullet train so I can have a more comfortable, luxurious experience, which will make arriving and the entire day itself just so much better for me. I also always wash my clothing at the coin laundry because I like the convenience of having my clothes feeling warm after being dried, and me not needing to wash it then take it wet there to get that feeling since I don't have a dryer. Also, the feeling of having inside my home feel exactly the way I want it to as well, a safe, calming space for me to be present in, is also something I'd spend abundantly on within reason, of course, since I'm not a big baller yet. Because without fail, I'm here every day. And while I am selective, I'll still do my absolute best to get items that would make me feel my best while I'm at home. Another is when I go out with friends. I want to always be able to purchase at least a round of drinks or pay a little bit extra on the dinner bill tab so that I can let people know how much I really appreciate their time and their friendship. Living frugally allows me to spend more money to enhance my quality of life because I cut back ruthlessly on things that I don't care about. I learned this from a guy called Ramit Sethi, who did a talk at Google that I listened to a couple of years ago. And I really recommend you guys check it out. I'll link it down below along with a link to sign up for my newsletter where you can get both that link as well as the key takeaway points from this video if you want to keep stuff at the top of your mind. He talks about something called money dials, where we spend abundantly on the things that we really care about and cut back completely on things that we don't care about whatsoever, and that really resonated with me. Like, I never really cared about eating out unless I was already in another country traveling, so I'm trying something new for the first time. But I used to feel really guilty to tell my friends no, I don't want to go out to eat when everyone is going out to try some new local food or something like that. And this really just gave me permission to happily say no, because I know that how by me saying no to that, I'm actually saying yes to me spending on my bullet train tickets, or me saying yes to spending on more convenience to make my life better, or buying a round of drinks for my friends at a later time.
Guys, that's the power of no. This is a very, very important lesson. You know, there's a book I read once many years ago. I think it was called The Power of No, and learning how to say no to things and people can really enhance your life and make your life better, because most of us are raised to be people pleasers. We are raised in a society where we are conditioned to be kind. Be kind, be kind. And to be kind essentially means to say yes to everything. Don't hold grudges. Don't, even against people who do you absolute bad. It's like there's a level of stupidity there. There's a reason why you're supposed to be very cautious of this person. And again, we're conditioned. Oh, it's kindness, guys. Like, like if you look at where society is headed right now, tipping is kindness. Bro, these people are making more money than we do now. It's about kindness. If you can't afford to eat here, then don't eat here. How is that a kind thing to say? Do you see what I'm saying, guys? It's insanity. And a lot, what's great though? A lot of these places are going to end up closing down. A lot of these places that are taking advantage of consumers, they're going to shut down. They are going to be eliminated eventually because there are places emerging right now. Restaurants, for example, that are doing phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal, and they're able to keep the prices low, pay their employees well, and they are doing phenomenal. And they also say no tipping here. Please do not tip. Okay? They make it very, very clear. And they are doing extremely well. And the reason why is because all of these companies that are practicing greedflation, it's going to catch up on them. It's going to catch up on them. Right now, there's a massive necessity for people to begin cutting back expenses. And you're going to begin witnessing where the cutbacks will start. And when they start, companies like McDonald's, you're going to see people like, ha ha ha, I would never touch McDonald's ever again. All right. You're going to have a lot of negativity associated with McDonald's. It's not about, oh my goodness, remembering your childhood eating McDonald's fries when you, no, you look at the food and it's just absolutely miserable because you look at it and you have negative feelings to it, thinking, oh my gosh, remember how much money I wasted on those fries? Like McDonald's and these other companies, they are doing so much to destroy their brands. And the craziest thing is that when everything goes downhill, they're going to cry and moan, and a lot of these locations are going to end up being closed down. A lot of these companies are going to end up having to merge or just outright collapse because of their greed. Look at what's happening. Like WB, for example, Warner Brothers that makes like all those DC movies right now. There's a lot of rumors going around that they're headed for a merger. They are headed for a merger because they cannot afford to remain sustainable. That's what basically happens when you have these companies where it's always constant growth, constant growth. You constantly have to make more and more money and show higher and higher profits. Eventually, it's no longer sustainable because you begin to cannibalize other markets. And don't forget, look at the United States. In the United States, we had a duopoly in the cell phone market for so long. It was literally Verizon. It was Verizon, and it was AT&T. And AT&T tried to buy T-Mobile, and that merger was blocked. And it was a great thing that it was blocked because it forced T-Mobile to innovate. And because of all of the innovating that T-Mobile did, creating value for their customers, and it was learning how to create value, getting rid of contracts, it allowed more people to get into the cell phone market. They also purchased Metro PCS, and that opened up Metro PCS opened up, provided coverage for a lot of people, and it's crazy. Right now I use Metro PCS. Metro PCS is good. It's good for me. It uses the T-Mobile network. I'm looking to get one of their home internet hotspots very soon, so that whenever my internet starts screwing around, I have that as a basis to use, like if I'm doing my podcast and I have guests on. But I mean, it's just a reality that we have to live with right now. That it's going to get really hard. Some people have suggested that it's going to be like the 70s again, and then before we pass away, it'll get back to where we are now. Where it's going to go downhill. And Gen Z, they're going to be I've said this, like they are the modern day. They're the modern day hippie, and they have not even gone full hippie yet, but that's where they're going. That's 100. Because if you notice, these people are going around talking about love, love, love. All you need is love. Guys, who sounds like that? All the self love, man. You've got to learn how to love yourself first, man. It's all about the love, man. These are some of the worst people in the entire world. Most evil, untrustworthy people. Notice it's the people who preach love that you really can't trust. You really can't trust. They, all right, guys. What are the common traits of the hippie? They were untidy, so they used to smell terrible. What are the traits of Gen Zers? A lot of them don't use deodorant. They don't bathe every day. You know, they have a bad whiff with them. Okay? Hippie, untrustworthy. Okay? Can't trust them around your stuff. They will steal from you. They are dishonest. Hippie, hippie. Okay? All the self love crap. All you need is love. Hippie. Okay? These people are 100% all of this, woke garbage. Hippie. Oh my gosh. But yeah, guys, this is just the reality we live in. It's a very interesting thing. By the way, if you want more of this content, consider checking out the Men Walking Away channel. There's a link to the Men Walking Away channel description of video. And if you want more content from the Angry Guy channel, check out Men Walking Away. I release daily videos there. So, there's that for you. What do you guys think regarding all of this? Men are becoming cheap. Let me know your thoughts and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, Men Walking Away. And cheers.